Welcome back, YouTube pipe smokers. Mutton Chop Piper here. Well, today's video is entitled A Pipe Smoker's Guide to Self-Evaluation. Disclaimer before we get started, this video is not going to have a lot to do with pipe smoking or how to smoke a pipe or any of that kind of thing. It goes along with my series on Pipe Smoker's Guide to Being a Gentleman. So if you're not really into that kind of video, then you can stop here. I won't be hurt. It's no big deal. It's not for everyone. But I just want to let you know before we get started. Okay, so what does it mean by performing self-evaluation? Well, first of all, let me tell you my credo or my theory about how pipe smokers need to interact with the world around us. Pipe smokers, like I've said in other videos, are for the most part laid back. We're thinkers. We ponder. We think about the things that go on around us, but we do it in a calm and collected way. For the most part, that's how I see most pipe smokers. So going along with that, I perform what's called self-evaluation. Now, this is what self-evaluation is. It's when you interact with anyone that you meet, a stranger, your wife, your child, so on. It's mostly used for when you come up to a confrontational situation. For instance, and I've been married for 33 years, and when me and my wife discuss something, let's just, for example, we want to go out to eat somewhere. I ask her where she wants to go. She says, well, there's a place nearby called Jim's. She loves to go there. She goes there all the time. She'll say, well, I'd like to go to Jim's. We haven't been there in a while. I said, yeah, but we went there a month ago, and we've been there quite a few times. I'd rather go somewhere else. She goes, yeah, but I really would like to go to Jim's. Okay, so now you have to perform self-evaluation. Is this situation really worth arguing about? No. Okay, let's go to Jim's. She really wants to go. And if you marry someone or you are in love with someone, you want to try to make them happy. So if this instance she wants to go to Jim's and she really wants to go, then I want to make her happy. So I relent and say, okay, let's go to Jim's. Because it's not worth arguing or fighting over where to go to eat. You have to pick your battles. You have to, now if it's something important like what kind of neighborhood are we going to live in, or what kind of car are we going to purchase, if it's something that is going to affect both of you for a long period of time, then that's when heated discussion may come into play. But if it's something as silly as going out to eat, then there's no use in getting all upset and heated about it. I mean, heck, just go. It's no big deal. Now, a more serious situation that may come up that you need to perform self-evaluation would be when you interact with strangers or people you don't know. I've watched on the news, and it's heartbreaking to see this guy he's standing in a courtroom, and he is being charged with murder because he got in a heated situation with another driver. Well, that driver cut me off, so I went next to him and I flipped him off and I gave him hand gestures and I called him names. Well, he got upset because I was doing that. So he flips me off. Oh yeah, well he's not going to do that to me. I'll show him. So now he takes his car and uses that as a weapon and hits the other car. Well, the other car goes out of control, hits a pole, and kills the guy. So now you are standing in a courtroom. This guy was standing in a courtroom. He had a pregnant wife and a 3-year-old daughter. And where do you think he's going? More than likely he's going to prison. Because he didn't perform self-evaluation before the situation got out of control. So let me show you an example of how I do self-evaluation. I'm driving along and this guy comes by me and he just cuts me off. Woof. Okay, I'm going to react the same way as you. That bleepity bleep blankety blank son of a blank blank. Who's he think he is cutting me off? Honk honk. Okay. But then that's when you have to perform self-evaluation. Do I want that to be it? Or do I want to elevate the situation? Nope, for me that's it. I feel better because I yelled at him. Yeah, I did a hand gesture or two and honked my horn. But I'm good. Now I could go around him and give him the hand gestures and all that other kind of stuff. But that's elevating, that's exacerbating the situation, which you don't want to do. You have to think about what can you lose? Are the things that I have in my life worth losing? Because if you elevate the situation and you end up in front of a judge for murder, you've lost your job. You won't be able to see your wife anymore, your children anymore. Is that really worth? That's when some people, that's when they do self-evaluation. Man, I should never have gone up next to that guy and flipped him off and called him a name. You know, because then he did it to me and I was going to show him. Now I wish I had never done it. There you go. I wish I had never done it. If you perform that self-evaluation before that situation gets out of control, it had never happened. Another thing too is when you are wrong, when you cut the guy off, you're coming down and you know you're driving along and all of a sudden you look back, you don't see him, so you move in and you cut him off. Admit when you're wrong. You're no less of a man if you admit that you made a mistake. So the guy behind you, after you cut him off, you self-evaluate. Say, yep, it was my fault completely. I screwed up. He's not so he doesn't have a lot of self-control. So he's going to move out and he's going to come over to the side and he's going to start flipping you off and calling you names. Now, you have self-evaluated and you said, okay, it was my fault completely. So you look over and he looks at you and he's got that mean look on his face like, I'm going to kill you. That's when you say, look dude, man, my fault, I apologize, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Right there, that takes the steam out of his anger. He sees that you know you were wrong. He sees that you're apologizing for it. So more than likely he's going to say, all right, it's okay, no problem, and go on. There you go. You have taken the steam out of the situation to where a confrontation was avoided. And let me tell you, by saying you're sorry or apologizing for something that you did wrong makes you no less of a man. Honestly, it does not. You have to think about as a pipe smoker, because that's what we do. We think. We evaluate the situation that's in front of us, and we try to perform self-control. We do these things because That's what pipe smokers do. We're laid back. We're in control of our own lives. We ponder. We think about. And we try to make the world a better place. And that's all I'm saying, is the next time you're in a situation where you do something wrong, admit to it and just say, hey man, I'm sorry, I screwed up. Or if the guy, or if someone else, woman or man, does something to you, be more quick to say, hey, I understand, man. You know, no big deal. You screwed up. It's all right. No big deal. Because you have to evaluate what's important in your life. Is it important to elevate the situation and get yourself in so much trouble that you lose what you have? In my opinion, no, it's not. All right, that's it. That's a little bit of the mutton chop wisdom for you. Some may agree, some may not. But it's out there, so I hope you take it with a little bit of grain of salt. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And until my next video, I want to wish you and your family happy piping.